The anti-terror operation at the Pathankot Air Base is more or less over now, as 6 terrorists believed to be the total number of terrorists who had sneaked in have been killed. But the combing operations are going to continue till tomorrow. This is what Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar said today in Pathankot. He said that the encounter to eliminate the terrorists was over within 28 hours. Now, the Defence Minister said that enough proof has been gathered that point at Pakistan's role in the terror strike. However, he also admitted that there were security lapses, saying that those would be taken care of after investigations are over.
अभी जो सामान मिला है उसमें there are some indications that some of the material is made in Pakistan, that's all. बाकी investigation NIO को करने दो. As far as we are concerned, my worry was how they have managed to enter even. Though while I congratulate our Pura forces that they managed to contain them in a corner and didn't allow them to go beyond that corner, I was still worried about how they have managed to come inside. I can only tell you, let the 1 minute, थोड़ा चीजें इन्वेस्टिगेशन के ऊपर छोड़ दीजिए, उनको इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने दो. उन्होंने they have tracked down the methodology. They will investigate and come back to you.
All right, now joining me in the studio is Senior Editor Gaurav Sawant and Major General Retired G.D. Bakshi is also joining us for more on this. Gaurav, first to you. You know, if reports are to be believed that this was the same route that these terrorists took, which the ones who had attacked the Dinanagar police station in Gurdaspur had taken. Now the Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar there saying that we are worried about how they sneaked in. Shouldn't they have been worried at that time itself and plugged the loopholes?
Well, you know, that is something that the Border Security Force needs to explain, and this is a huge gap that India must explore and fill. Well, what has happened in this case is, even after Dinanagar, even after the Gurdaspur terror attack, the Pakistani terrorists came in once again using the same gap. And this is a regular smuggling route that is used. Now, why wasn't this plugged? Why weren't additional forces deployed there? Why weren't cameras working? There are several aspects that need to be investigated. But that's one part of the lapse. The second part of the lapse is, despite having specific intelligence, despite having NSG already in place, despite having military columns already in place inside the Pathankot Air Base,
yes,
before the terrorists struck, why is it that the terrorists managed to come in and kill 7 people? Now that is once again unpardonable. Brilliant operation, there is no denying the fact, once the terrorists were engaged. But 5 lives lost without firing back is a major loss. You know that Gursevak Singh, the Garud commando, he fought very well. The DSC personnel who was unarmed, Jagat Singh, he fought extremely well. In fact, he was the first one who killed a Pakistani terrorist. So that was very good.
Okay.
After that, terrorists confined to 250 square meters by 250 square meters area. Excellent. But there are many questions that remain unanswered here.
Yes, absolutely. And why and how could the terrorists enter the Pathankot Air Base is also something that is very significant here, Gaurav, as you're pointing out. Let me go across to Major General Retired G.D. Bakshi. Major General Bakshi, now, you know, the jeweler who was in the same car as the SP, whose car was carjacked and they were kidnapped by these terrorists while they were sneaking into India, suggests that he overheard them being reprimanded by the handlers perhaps in Pakistan for not having been able to enter the air base till that time. Now, despite having that sort of knowledge, despite the SP himself having been kidnapped and then, you know, released, why do you see, was there so much of communication gap that the message could not have gone immediately and action didn't start promptly?
This is certainly a major lacuna in this operation, and I think in the lessons learned we will have to carefully go over this. The fact is that you had one car with the driver's throat slit, which they had tried to use through an Uber taxi kind of a communication. We had that car with the fingerprints, with the smell. Why could you not have used a dog squad? Then we got the second car, you know, of the SSP. We had his information. Why was no action taken to conduct operations against this group outside the perimeter of the Air Force
Absolutely,
base.
that is the point that's
Why
been
were they
raised.
allowed
Yes.
to come in? So therefore, that I'm afraid the Punjab area is not under the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Nobody requisitioned the army to conduct these operations. The army was only told to reinforce the Air Force base, which they did. The fact of the matter is that we are well aware of these kinds
sir,
of operations.
as the
A
defense minister
24
himself said,
kilometers
sir, I want to just
perimeter.
put in one
Excuse me.
question here. As the defense minister himself said that army cannot be taking care of civilian areas. In that case, isn't better coordination required and the need of the hour between the police force, BSF, army, the various wings that are manning and guarding the people?
Absolutely. That is the precise problem in this country. The precise problem is coordination between various forces, the tendency to sit on information, not pass it right and left, act over secretive and try and score points by getting to New Delhi first rather than getting to the person next door
Yes.
who can help you take action.
Absolutely.
I mean, there is a huge Mamoon cantonment. I hope we understand that there are thousands of troops over there who could have taken very precise action. When the NSG had been called, why it could have easily been deployed outside to hunt these people down. Why do we hunker down and wait for an attack? If you wait for an attack and you have got 24 kilometers to defend, somewhere or the other he can always just use a ladder and penetrate through.
Yes.
You see, there are supposed to be no civilian constructions around an Air Force base. We have allowed the
Yes, there was a
constructions to
market
come in
outside, if
because
I'm not wrong.
we are just facing, there's a whole market outside.
Yes.
Anybody can sneak in and just cross over.
Major
And the fact
Bakshi,
is, even in
Gaurav
Gurgaon,
Sawant
we are
wants to
trying
come in for a
to get
bit.
people fit.
No,
Wait, yes.
the general is absolutely right. But, there is also the issue of accountability. After the Gurdaspur terror attack, what action was taken when the BSF realized there was a breach and terrorists had come in? So there was no accountability that was fixed. What accountability was fixed when it came to Punjab police? So whether it's the BSF or the Punjab police, they must be made to answer in this case. How is it that terrorists repeatedly come in? What was the role of that superintendent of police? Why was he roaming around in a vehicle with absolutely no security,
Yes.
matha taking, as he says, at some mazar? Now that needs to be explained. Why was he allowed to go? Why was that guest or his guest allowed to go? Why was only the driver taken when they knew he's a police officer with a vehicle with a beacon? So there are several unanswered questions. There is rampant smuggling of drugs in that area. That
Yes.
needs to be investigated. And as far as the NSG and the army lack of coordination is concerned, the general is absolutely right. Now, my information is, even before the first bullet was fired, there was already a special forces team that was inside this campus. There were already 2 columns of the army that had been deployed. Remember, there's also a huge army cantonment here, a military station. That was safe because there was one command and control authority. Were there multiple command and control structures? Here, all of that needs to be investigated and lessons to be learned, like after Kargil.
In fact, the intelligence agencies, Gaurav, are going to be questioning the superintendent of police whose car was taken away by these terrorists. He will also be quizzed on the drug angle as well. Meanwhile, the NIA has taken over the probe and DG Sharad Kumar has spoken exclusively to India today. He has said that Pakistan must cooperate with India in the Pathankot terror attack case because phone calls intercepted were traced to Pakistan and terrorists were constantly in touch with their handlers in Pakistan. Jugal Purohit speaks with DG NIA.
It's day 1 of the NIA investigation into the Pathankot incident, and I'm now joined by the Director General of the agency. Sir, thank you for the time. This is an attack which, of course, has cross-border ramifications. The Pakistani Foreign Office has yesterday told us that India has given leads and we are expecting and cooperating with them. As the premier investigating agency into the attack, do we expect some kind of coordination, some cooperation between the two countries at your level as well?
Well, from the press statement that I saw, we are very hopeful that the Pakistan will cooperate with us.
So till now, while there is obviously this cross-border element involved, there are also signs of some disturbing homegrown assistance being given to the terrorists. Many people are speaking about it. Is that also the ambit of the NIA's probe?
Well, that will definitely be the ambit of probe, because if they have received local assistance from some locals, we'll look into that.
And so finally, if I may ask, what is it that is leading us to look towards Pakistan? Is there any particular point or any particular evidence that we've got about the terrorists that is prompting us in that direction?
Right now, what we have got are some telephone calls which were made to Pakistan by the terrorists. And these calls were made from certain mobile numbers, and we are scrutinizing.
Pictures of the Parliament building in Delhi, pictures of Rajpath, pictures of several other sensitive...